Hiya, folks. Old man Grognard back again. And I think you can hear me this time. I'm not sure. Hope that works. But I don't see it happening. So, yeah, I guess it is. Well, anyway, here I am again. I'm doing a solo today because my buddies Don and Eric are getting ready for a con. So, just me. So, we're going to do a few interesting things, I hope, here. Talk about role playing games, talk about my mental health, maybe emotional things. But I also want to do something different. I want to open up and examine this here box set I got from the Arduin's folks over at Emperor's Choice. And we're going to take a look at that. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, it does sound better. Right now, let's get the usual maintenance stuff out of the way. Please buy my book. It is. You can find it on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and hopefully soon in your bookstore if I can get some copies and send it around. That's what I'm working for. It's a great fantasy novel. It's a lot of fun. Also, I have a GoFundMe to get myself to WizardCon 2 so I can make an official release of said book. So that will be the hard release. There's a soft release I did in December. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Anyway, that's out of the way. Anyway, let me show you something I got last week. It's right here. Oh my goodness. And it is heavy. You won't believe this. This is on sale at the Emperor's Choice website. This was a Kickstarter, very well done Kickstarter. This is it. Portal to Adventure by Emperor's Choice. Ain't that lovely? And they are selling it. And it does come in this plastic box, believe it or not. Let's open it up and take a look. Plastic box lid comes off. It's magnetized. Now, one thing I don't have here that it came with, and that was an Emperor's Choice back scratcher, a very nice back scratcher. I no longer have that back scratcher because my little grandsons were here and they liked it. Apparently, they took it home with them. But I do have everything else. So you will get a back scratcher too if you order this. Let's take this thing. Oh my goodness. This thing is huge. A lot of good stuff in here. Now, a little background. Hello, Mr. Van. How are you? Little background on this. Arduin is been around, I think, forever. It was around when I started in 1980. And it's Dave Hargrave's D&D stuff that he made for his game, for his world. And he was very, very prolific. Let me tell you. I mean, tons of stuff. He was the first, before Ed Greenwood or some people like that who came up with a lot of stuff. He came up with like a first trilogy of Arduin stuff. And then he released like 6 more books, 5 more books, 6. So there's 8 books, 8 little books. And it's chocked with tables and monsters and spells and ways to do other things like hit points and levels and things like that. So that gives you a little background. These people, Emperor's Choice, unfortunately, David Hargrave is no longer with us. But the folks at Emperor's Choice, hello, George, and they're carrying it on, and you can buy those books through them. So let's open this bad boy, okay? Like so. And I'm going to just rest it here on my knee and show it to you. Okay, this is what the original, when you open it up, it looks like this. Okay, you notice 2 box sets inside the box set. First of all, it comes with these Arduin Artifact weapon and monster cards. I opened this. I'm not going to open it this time. Well, yeah, I will. since we're doing kind of an unboxing, I will do this. What you get in here is these cards you can cut out with their magic items. And in the back, there are, it's a do-it-yourself magic item. This is what it's named. You can establish its parameters, what it does, and all this. It also comes with, monster cards, like so, with the stats in the back. And it comes with a adventure combined character sheet, Portal to Adventure combined character sheet. That's what the character sheet looks like, the front and the back. The back. And that's just a little bonus you get. Now I will explain. This is Arduin, but it's Arduin and it comes with the world, believe it or not. How about that? How about that? Hello, Death Angel Shadow. How are you doing? Let me show you what you got. The first box set is the original Arduin Trilogy, the first 3 books. There's the back. Let's open this bad boy up. Comes with a few minis that are some kind of monster minis. Oh, you still have your breakdown videos to do, Death Angels? Okay, cool. I'm doing this basically on the fly. And of course, it'll come with a set of dice. And it comes not only with the trilogy, but a few other books in here. You have Arduin Grimoire 1 reprints. These are all recreation reprints. 2. And it's Arduin Grimoire, Welcome to Skull Tower for 2, and the Runes of Doom, Volume 3. Okay? It's funny because Volume 1 also comes, you get a second copy of Volume 1 with the original cover on it. The other one is done by Errol Otis. The first one is done by Errol Otis, whichever one it is here. Yeah. See? So you get one of those. And you also get based on the works of David Hargrave, the Rancid Maw. And it says, Western George D. Tell you what, let's get the old glasses on. How about that? It is The Rancid Maw by George DeRosa, Matthew Tapp, and Diane Blada. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And also in this box, you get some character sheets for Arduin. So you got 2 kinds of character sheets there. Okay? Now, and that's got a whole bunch of good stuff in it. Okay? Oops, forgot that. Whole bunch of good stuff. I love it. And the other box that comes in here, there's even more, is called Barrows and Borderlands. Now, this is it's a limited edition, Barrows and Borderlands, which also comes with a set of dice. This is by a gentleman by the name of Matthew Tapp. It's Barrows and Borderlands, and it comes in little booklets just like Arduin. And it's a weird science fantasy, old school style role-playing game set in a dark radioactive wasteland of magic, black powder, and dragons by Matthew Tapp. And there's 4 books to this. First one is Men and Mutants, Lagaso. The second one is Psychics and Sorceries. You find all your spells and sorcery stuff in there. I'll talk about the world in a minute. Number 3 is Horrors and Treasure, like so. And the 4th book is Underworld and Borderlands Adventures, because this has got a game system in it based on D&D, but it's also got a world. And it also comes with additional rules, radioactive boogaloo, which comes through a whole bunch of stuff. And there's tons of things in here. I read through it. Oh, and I forgot there's also a dungeon, Dracula in space. Ta-da. And of course, character sheets. Now, I kind of read through Barrows and Borderlands. I find it rather interesting. I am a fan. I mean, this is very pulpish, a la things like Hyperborea, which I absolutely love. But it comes off. It's so funny because it's got its own feel, and it's got its own feel in the way that it's like Hyperborea mixed with more sci-fi. It's like Hyperborea with some gamma world in it, and it feels very Gonzo. I love Gonzo. I really do. Also, and that comes in the set. Also, we get a two decks of cards called Swords and Dragons, a non-collectible arcane game, which I have yet delved into. So we also comes with the Lost Dungeons of Tonnesborg, sorry. And this little beauty is by Greg Stevenson. We also get a reprint of the original Arduin Adventure. Now, this is the role-playing game they eventually came up with for Arduin that, from what I hear, it's kind of rough. So, and they're working on Arduin Bloody Arduin, which is something that Dave wanted to produce, but he never got to. But this was it feels kind of like a gap, it's sort of a filling in a gap until they can get that game out, which never came out. Also, we have some maps and pictures, things like that. I have yet to open that. I love their bags. It's like I almost don't want to open these. It's so pretty. And finally, you get the Emperor's Choice catalog for 2025, June. It has all their games in there and everything you can look at. I mean, you can always go to the site and look at it, but there's stuff like that, all the stuff they do. Now, let's get some of this back in here. Now, my opinion on this set, I think it's wonderful. It's a lot. It looks like a lot of fun. There is very little or any problem. I have very little or any problem with it. And the thing I have a problem with is based on mainly my age. The only thing, the one thing I have a problem with, the main thing is here's the Volume 1 Arduin Grimoire reproduction. This was reproduced exactly how they issued it first. Take a look at that. Is that tiny? Is that tiny text? Okay. Yes, I have reading glasses, but as an older man of 68, I'd rather not deal with that kind of stuff. Although I love having this. It's great to set on the shelf. I could use it. You can use this. I'm just saying, because the younger people can probably read it better than I can. You can use it, but I would probably push you. I mean, yes, get this box. It's got it's a lot more stuff in here than you can ordinarily want. I mean, I would not sneeze at this. You know what I'm saying? So I would get the box. And also, I can get this closed there. If you're going to use Arduin stuff, especially the trilogy, get this. This is the Arduin trilogy, the same thing, only it's reorganized into one volume. and I could read it a lot better. So I'm not discouraging you from getting the box set, but I would say get this too, and all the other Arduin books they have. So, and it says it's out of stock right now. I don't know if it's out of stock or out of print, but if you can get a hold, this was kickstarted and it was very well done. And if you can get a hold of it, go to Emperor's Choice. Maybe you can talk to them into it, or maybe they have a few. I don't know. But the point is, it's about the box is about $300. But I see every single dollar of it in that box. It's I mean, Emperor's Choice. These guys, they do stuff right, and they've been around for quite a while, so they pretty much know the layout of that. So I would recommend that box set. I would recommend any of the Arduin stuff. Any of the links to this stuff are going to be down there. So we're just going to do it that way. And let me catch up here. Death Angel said, I did the boxing already, but I want to show the maps. Having to make a makeshift map display to capture on camera. He also said he wishes he could have backed a higher level for the maps. By the way, what I got is the highest level. That's what you get, plus a back scratcher. So it's like I said, I think it's worth the money if you can swing it. If not, get some of their books. Either way, it works out. And Death Angels, that was Matthew Sherman who's talking. Death Angel said, Matthew loves the Gonzo stuff, and the young man is so full of energy, of course. Tonsberg is pretty incredible, as well as I backed them on a Kickstarter a while ago. Oh, Death Angel, you did get the maps. Good. But anyway, I just wanted to do that. Thursday, I think it was the Thursday show. It came like 10 minutes before the Thursday show. So I had it in the box here. I couldn't unpack it. I didn't want to unpack it because, Thursday show's not mine. So I was going to take up the time. Yeah, it's a good thing. It really is a good thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope the Emperor's Choice fellas, there's your review. I usually do another recorder review, but I just thought I'd do that online because this thing in the plastic box is just like, wow. I got to show everybody. If Eric and Don were on here, I probably would have done the same thing. I mean, Eric got one of these. He said, boy, wait till you get it. Wait till you get it. They didn't send it to me right away because they didn't have my address. And I'm going to make a claim here that they sent it to me for review. So, I'm, like I said, I'm trying not to sound like a shill, but I love all the stuff they do. They just quality stuff. Arduin, as far as I'm concerned, is very, very well done from Dave's original stuff on down. Apparently, they've told me that there's even more Dave Hargrave stuff they haven't even released. They've done all 8 of the books. The first 3 are in this volume, and then there's the other 5 released in a small volume like the originals. But you can read, there's better typing and better, you can read it. They've also got stuff like a world map or a world encyclopedia, I should say, a bunch of maps. They've got something, I can't remember the name of it, the Wizard of, the Wizard, yeah, right. Right, Glenn, Wizard, yeah. Okay, what is it called? I'm looking it up, by the way. So, and this is a stall tactic anyway. And looks like I don't have it anymore. But they do have a book of all of the modules in one book that Dave and his company did. when he would that were reprinted in a book where you can read it. So anyway, I just thought, it's the Weavers of something or other. I mean, it's on the website. You can see it, but they have some really good. What I like about I'm going to show you something here in the Arduin trilogy. What I like, and this goes for the modules and everything too. What I really get a kick out of. Oh, by the way, in the back of this, they always also put that Arduin trilogy, Arduin Adventure reprint. See, it's in the back of the book, this book too. But what I like about it is the way they do the dungeons, the way they do the adventures, because what they do is they give you a map, they stock they tell you what's going on in the area a little bit, but it's always a little bit. Here's one of the entries of the map for the second floor and the rooms, and the description of the rooms down there. And what I like is there's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms on the second floor, and they give you, this is room, what was it, 14 to 15, 16, 17. They give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the rooms they describe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They give you at least one. And the bigger dungeons, something like this, a cave, something like that, they will give you like maybe half of the locations are described. I like that, because what they're basically saying is, here's some sample of what's going on in this place. You fill in the rest as game master. I love that. Because I don't see that anymore, because it seems like every module that comes out now, even some of the older ones, they'll tell you everything. They'll tell everything what's in every room, But this way you can adapt it to your group, to your way of doing it. And that's the whole key. You know what I'm saying? That is the whole key. I love that kind of stuff. It is just, it fascinates me. What can I say? What are you going to do anyway? So that was my big takeaway from the Arduin box set. Once again, it's called Portal to Adventure. And it is a glorious thing to see. And that world with that world they put in there, the campaign world, looks like a lot of fun, because you've got the sci-fi stuff in there too, like the Lovecraft and other things that are in there. And you've also got, like I said, the Gamma World stuff with mutants. I think there's psychics in here, like in here, but that fits. See, I'm against that in D&D, but if the world was made for that, it's great. Yeah. Death Angels, you're right. He said, I'm not sure if they have any of them left. They only had a handful last time I heard. That was a week ago. Yeah, I just went on the website, and they do say they're out of stock. I'm hoping they're saying out of stock and out of print. I just saw it a minute ago in Flash. I hope they're saying out of print, or out of stock rather, not out of print. Because now that everybody's got this, I want to see, I'd like to see them sell more. Like I said, $300. That ain't bad. That ain't bad for the quality they give you. Anyway, I'm pretty much, go buy it. If you can find it, go buy it. You probably have to go on, second bar, like Noble Knight or eBay or something like that. Go on the second marketplace. So they'll probably jack it up even more. I mean, I'd love to see you guys get it for what they sell it for, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So let me move on. This weekend was unbelievable. I had my two youngest grandsons here, Owen and Palmer. And Owen is about 10 or 11. Palmer's 6. And Owen, the older one, asked me if I could teach him D&D. And it's like, yeah, sure. I took him to our new game store in town. It's not a new game store, but it's an expanded game store. It's called the Block Shop, I believe, because they have a big thing in Legos too, but they also sell games and have a big old area of tables for gaming. And I brought them down there just to see what they would do, and they just loved it. They got Owen bought some dice, and both of them bought some Lego stuff, and I knew they would. But and what happened was he asked me if I could teach him D&D. And I told this to Becky. She said, you don't do that unless you ask their parents, my stepson and his wife. And I told Owen that. And I figured, well, they're probably going to have to go home and do that. So next time they come, maybe I can teach them. And he FaceTimed his mom on his tablet. And she said, sure. Yeah, much to Becky's chagrin. Becky is still a little hesitant about stuff like that because of, well, she grew up in the Midwest and her family did, and da-da-da-da-da, and I'm not going to get through all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But she said, okay, so I ran him a little scenario. And I made it easy because originally I was going to use D&D Rule Cyclopedia. But then about halfway through, I started having make characters, and I'm going, you know what? Let's make this easy on them. So I've got tons of copies of Swords and Wizardry Light, which is, I don't think it's printed anymore, and that is 4 pages. You can play up to level 3. It's an intro thing. And everything was reduced. All you need to play is when I used to demo it, I used to give each player 4d6 and a d20. That's all you need right there. I love it. Death Angel said, so that makes how many of the grandkids now that you've gotten into the hobby? That would be number 2, maybe 3 if I think Palmer's a little young because he's still got all the energy and this, that, and the other thing. And, he's not going to, but Owen's right at the right age. Technically it would be 5, but Owen got 2 into the hobby. The other 3 were like, oh, you're playing, you need players, we'll play. And they don't really, the girls, they're doing their own thing. They're older. My older grandsons, Gage was the one I really got in, my first grandson. Gavin, his brother, he's not really interested, so I don't push it. He'll play if if they talk him into playing, he'll play, but he doesn't really care. He's not really paying attention. So 2 is a good thing. 2 is good. But let me tell you, this weekend he went there and I ran them 2 encounters. That's about all I had the energy for because they were pooping me out. I was tired. So I ran it. And they loved it, or Owen loved it. All weekend, he said, I'm playing D&D by himself. And all of a sudden, he's his own GM, and he's running it with him and Palmer. Palmer's bouncing off the walls, and, he's got a character there, but it's like he tells him to roll it, come over and roll it, and, that kind of thing. So it was kind of funny and cute to watch. But I was more like, I finally said, look, next time you're over, we'll play again. Okay, I mean a real play. We'll try and get the tables cleared off because the huge dining table full of Becky stuff that she's selling on Etsy that she was taking pictures of and all this other stuff. Oh, that's fine, whatever. But if we can't do that, I'll take you to the game store. We'll just pull up a table. I'll bring my dice and stuff, and we'll play. Okay, sure, Grandpa, sure. Okay. It's just that I want to play more than one person. So hopefully I can get Gage here. Gage is 22 right now, and he works in an oil field part-time. So, and he's in right now. He's in McLeod, and we're in Chickasha, so we're about an hour away. So if I could get Gage to come down here and we can play, that would be great too. But I don't count on it. So that's pretty much. And so this was an incredible weekend for me. Uh, Thank you, Matthew. Passing on the love of gaming is good stuff. And Death said, well, we need more young blood so they can become future Matthew Trips. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yep. Okay. That was my pleasure for the weekend. I mean, they kind of drive me crazy every time I go here because they're always in this room watching TV and doing stuff. And, it's like, I don't do when they're over, I don't do anything on the weekend except be with them when we're with them or let them watch TV. I'm on YouTube and all this stuff. I don't try and write anymore. I don't try and work on games, all that kind of stuff. I just like, okay, I'm off for the weekend. I got grandsons. So I just enjoy myself with them. Sometimes Nana and I, their Nana and I go out, Becky and I go out and we take them to eat something or take them this, that, and the other place, take them to a park. They have a lot of fun here. See, they live in Guthrie, and their dad, Reagan, my stepson, and his wife, they live in a trailer. They live in a big old RV trailer because my stepson bought some land and he's building a house on it. A rather nice, I think it's going to be a rather nice looking house. And they've got chickens, they got goats, they got, livestock, a few dogs. And so they're getting into the rural thing, which is great. I mean, I think it's a great way for the kids to be raised. I mean, I'm a city boy. I'm not afraid to say it. Actually, I'm more like a suburb boy. I grew up in Long Beach, California, which is in Southern California, right next to Lakewood, California. So, LA County. So, Becky's got more. She was raised in here in Oklahoma and in New Mexico, and her father was a dairyman. He had his own dairy farm. And he would sell milk, and that's how he made his living. So she would know how to do that, and so she likes it like this, and I don't mind it. And we don't exactly. We sort of live in rural, but we're in a small town, so we've got kind of a bit of both. So I'm not really feeling isolated. I mean, it's 45 minutes to Oklahoma City, which to me is the closest city, but still, the town's nice. And it's just I'm glad to see them. They like coming over here and they'd sit here and watch TV and stuff all weekend or be on their tablets or something like that. So we just let them do that because they're just happy to be in a house and rather in a trailer. I understand that. So if we can do anything else with them, we would. Oh yeah, you're right, Van. Make sure to teach them classic stuff. Move if that newfangled 5e stuff. None of, no move if. Well, let me tell you, I taught Gage right. I taught him with D&D Rules Cyclopedia. Started with Rules Cyclopedia. He played that. He's played Labyrinth Lord. He's played Swords and Wizardry, regular Swords and Wizardry. And he went to 5e. And he played some like other games like Gangbusters and Savage Worlds. Yeah, he went to 5e, and I saw that coming. But I said, okay. I've even bought him a few of the books. He wanted them. But he really likes 5e. But at the same time, he will play the old stuff, which I think more kids and other people should do. If you're going to play 5e, play the old stuff once in a while. Hyperborea, he loves Hyperborea. And that's basically 1E AD&D at its base. But he loves Hyperborea. Every person I've run Hyperborea with loved it. And he was one of them, you know? And I'm just happy he liked it. I'm glad he did, you know, I'm glad I showed him what is out there. I kind of gave him a history of the hobby, you know. That's one thing I don't understand. You know, there's still that that bad feeling from the 60s that it's around. It's not around very much. And it's more of because, you know, D&D's gotten better publicity now because of things. In fact, that's one of the reasons why Owen wanted to play so bad, because he was a big fan of Stranger Things, and he wanted to play D&D like they play it there. And doggone it, he was determined to do it. You see the Stranger Things, the D&D movie, Honor Among Thieves. I love that movie. I do. Whether we're getting another one, I don't know, but I'm just happy we have what we have. You know, I still, you know, that movie, I'm glad it came out. It didn't earn as much as it should, because that's basically WotC and Hasbro kind of screwed the pooch on that. You know, they were their worst enemies. They had to come out with that OSR thing, you know, try and change the OSR right around the time the movie was getting ready to come out. And boy, I think that was a big effect on the movie. It was terrible, you know, as a, you know, terrible as a gamer and as a film buff. The 2000 D&D, I just like it for laughs, you know. It's because I'm a fan of things like bad movies that are entertaining. Big fan of, you know, Mystery Science Theater, riff tracks, all that. And believe me, I really wished that riff tracks would have done the 2000 D&D movie. They would have had a ball with that. It would be incredible. But I'm glad we got what we got, and I'm glad D&D is more, people know about it more. I mean, WotC and Hasbro are going through their troubles with the new edition, or the 2024, which they released and nobody liked. And well, what can I say? It's going to happen. Yeah. But like I said, I'm glad what we got. I mean, right there, look at that old shelf. Look at all that stuff. And that second shelf right there with all the these right here, that is all Judges Guild. All Judges Guild. Yes, sir. I am proud of those. Those are one of the few. For a while when I moved here, I didn't have any game stuff, and I wasn't gaming much, a whole lot. I had just you know, I gotten out. I've been a year. My second wife, left me. I managed to get we were only married less than 5 years, so I got an annulled. She basically left me for another woman. And I had maybe 2 game books at the time. I had and it was 3rd edition. It was the old Mongoose Pocket Player's Handbook and DM Guide. Oh, I had a 3rd one. I had the regular 3.5 Monster Manual. And that's all I had. But at the same time, when I moved back with my mom, I got all those. And that's one of the things I ain't getting rid of, is my Judges Guild stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good stuff. And I bought it at the time when 3.5 was really going. I played when I was living with my mom for a short while. And I loved it because I always had the philosophy of anything old that's old enough is new again. And I looked at it as a resource. It's like 3.5, if I can use these and adapt them, my players ain't going to know what's coming. And I like that. If I could take something like, say, I don't know, one of this stuff they have there, something out of Pegasus or something like that, or some of the like the Janelle Decay stuff, Tower of Doom, run that. They never seen anything like that at the time. Now they got a re-release and done for 5e, but at the same time, oh man, those are beautiful. And so that's one of the reasons why I hang on to those there. Everything else has been pretty much replaced. On the top shelf is, I don't have the original 3 boxes, the original first D&D, the Gary stuff. I never had a desire to get them. I never wanted to use them. I started with 1E AD&D when I first started. And doing the podcast, Saber Die, I had to sort of immerse myself and educate myself in the earlier D&D lines. And the one I like to start with was Holmes. Holmes, BX and Beckme are my two favorites in that line. So I had to educate myself, and I got those. And this is back when Half Price Books actually was reasonable. They didn't know what they had. And I used to call it, at the time, I was calling Half Price Books my real game store, because that's where I found a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff. So, what are you going to do? You're going to, and I was having a ball, having a great time. Becky was concerned about it. I said, I understand. I got Becky to play one game, one scenario with this couple we met out of town who were gamers. And the man there, he ran the game. And we made characters. Becky played a cleric. I am not surprised. And afterwards, I said, well, what do you think? And that's my dog howling. And I said, what do you think? She said, it's not, because she was totally into the panic thing, because and I said, well, what do you think? And she says, it's just a game. And I said, you want to keep playing? She said, nah, I'm not interested. I said, okay. You gave it a shake, and I'm appreciated in that. As long as she lets me do it, I'm fine. I am fine. I just don't have anybody to talk to. But anyway, there's a whole lot. I could use some. I don't know. I could use some talking to I don't know, mental people. I'm mental people. Yeah. I'm kind of. I don't. There's things I like to talk about, but I can't. I don't have anybody to talk about. And I'm doing this, and I don't feel like I'm. Yeah. Professionals, I'm talking about, Death Angel, but that, but we can't afford that and stuff. And I have a lot of friends and stuff in the gaming area and the theater area, but at home I feel stupid. But that's something else. Mental health is hard to get to, but right now I'm just thinking that, yes, I have mental problems, but that means I'm a genius, because all creative and genius people, didn't they have mental problems, whether they're actors or painters or even gamers and writers? I published a friggin' book. I never thought I'd do that. And I'm working on a second one. So I'm trying to use this to power myself. What else am I going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you know what? I'm sorry to bring this down. So I will try and lighten this up a little more. We had a Monday game over. I have one game on Mondays online. This is my old group, my old, you still stare at them across the table and play, but you know what I'm saying? We were another COVID casualty, you might say. We played for 2 years online and nobody else after that. It's like, oh, we can get together. And I think we can get together twice since after COVID. And that was it. And now it's worse, especially for me, because I am in Chickasha. I would be at least an hour away from them. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind driving there once, because we play every other Monday. Every other Monday. So I wouldn't mind driving into town and things like that. But we just can't. Everybody else is like, they're pretty much. I wish we could go back to Jimbo's house and play. That'd be nice. I like to see Carlos. My buddy Carlos is a really good GM. I mean, he's great. Him and I are like the two main GM. We got another guy right now who's running something. But, people say, hey, I got an idea. Can I run? Okay, fine. That's nice. And in April, last week of April, I will be in, as you know, Baton Rouge. Battle Creek, Michigan. It's so funny. I can't remember that name unless I think of cereal, and you know why. Battle Creek, Michigan to WizardCon 2, which is run by my buddy Don Samora. I'll be a special guest there. I'll be running games. I'll be having my book there, having book sellings, and I'll be, autographing. I may even do a reading out of the book. I don't know. I will be doing a charity show with other popular GMs who will be attending, and I will be running Ghostbusters. We'll have other people like Merle Rasmussen, who wrote Top Secret for TSR, who will be running Top Secret for charity, and other people too. So if you're going to be in Battle Creek, Michigan in the last weekend of April, I believe it's 23rd to the 26th, we'll be there. Come on by. And I'll be there. And that Sunday will be my birthday. I will be 89 or 69th. Oh, I don't want to get that old real quick. I'll be 69. And Don and his wife say they have something planned for me, so I'm kind of scared. Probably has something to do with the bar. But anyway, we will be there. Come on by. If you want to see me there, I'll be there. That will be the official launch of my book. As in, I'm going to try and get these into shops too. So I'm hoping by the time that when WizardCon rolls around, they will be in shop. I hope so. But if you can't meet me there in June, you will have a couple more chances. I will be in Irving, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, on the third weekend, or the weekend, I said the first weekend in June, which is always North Texas RPG Con. What is wrong with me? I mean, I swear, I'm going. The brain's going. The Alzheimer's happening. What can I say? And after that, in the last weekend of June, by the way, North Texas, I always say it's the weekend after Memorial Day weekend. And the last weekend, I will be in Denison, Texas, to be going to that convention there. The Dobson Con. I think this is their first one. And I'm also a guest star there. I'll be running 3 games. I have no idea, but I will be running them. But in all 3 cons, I will be running, like I said, the Ghostbusters charity game. I may run that again, but I will be running Gangbusters. I have about 6 scenarios I can run. I got 2 or 3 that I'm preparing to run. And I hope to see you there, and I hope to run stuff with you, especially people who I'm hoping I see a lot of people who contributed to my GoFundMe, just because I want him to have fun and play. And I want to thank him for helping me out and to prove I'm actually using the money for what I said I was. I am I'm getting close to my goal, which is $1,000. And anyone who is slotted to get an autographed copy of my book, anybody who contributed $50 or more to me as a thank you. And so going to be doing that. And so I'm going to be pretty busy until the end of June. And hopefully we won't be moving until then. We're looking at other houses now, because like I said, my two younger grandkids and my stepson, Reagan, live in Guthrie, Oklahoma, which is about 45 minutes from here. And Becky really wants to be around with her grandkids. I don't know. She goes into nana mode hard, which is okay. I find it amusing. I'm a grandpa, I like it. I don't, probably because she's female, or, she's the empty nest syndrome hit real hard with her. It still does, especially since like Gage and Gavin, my first grandsons, lived with us for a while and we bonded. And like I said, Gage is 22. He works in an oil field. My younger one, Gavin, is 17. He is out like an hour and a half away, living in a trailer. He's an electrician. He's an apprentice, and he's working on being a journeyman electrician. And so we don't get to see him all that often. They get down here when they can or talk to us when they can. Fortunately, the Monday game, one of the reasons I'm staying in the Monday game is because Gage is in it. And I get to talk to Gage for a little bit. And I could pass along messages from us and Nana and things like that. Death Angel Shadow says, my wife wants to be a grandma. I told her I'm not old enough to be a grandpa. I'm only 52. Oh, yeah? You'll find out. 52 ain't nothing. That's grandparent. That's grandparent area. Let me tell you, I've known grandparents who were like the mid to late 40s. So yeah, but hey, be a grandpa. Be the fun grandpa. Be the fun grandpa who plays D&D. They'll love it. And my two granddaughters, they've always lived with their mother, which is Reagan, my stepson's ex. And so we get to see them once in a while, but they're in their own thing. Like the oldest one's in ROTC, the younger one's cheerleaders and stuff. They're doing the usual teen girl thing. You know what I'm saying? In my head, I'm still 25. Death Angel, let me tell you, I'm there with you. But nothing I can do about it. I believe in the philosophy of inside every old person is a young person wondering what the hell happened. Matthew Sherman, I have 3 grandkids, 6 months, 2 years, and 10-year-old special needs granddaughter. Oh, I'm glad you got them. I hope her special needs are manageable. Whoever responds to D&D, go with it. That's all I did. My 2 oldest grandsons, Gage took it like that. He loved it. Gavin had other interests on the computer mostly. He was into Minecraft, Roblox, other things like that, probably, DOD or something. Matthew just turned 52. Well, happy birthday, sir. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's my life as it is. And I hope you enjoyed that little sort of unbox thing we did. I don't buy game stuff all that much anymore. It's gone down the last few years. The only time I bought any game stuff was one year, a single time in the year at the con. I bought a couple of books at the con. That's it. I've gotten to the point where I've got more games than I know what to do with that I want to start using. Hi, Chuppa. Afternoon. Hope you're doing well. And so I'm just, and also, as you know, I would review games. So I would get games to review. People would send me games to review, and I would do that. My kids all chose video games. Let them. They're missing out. And I always think that a certain percentage of kids who do that, they will look at D&D and maybe they'll get hooked. You never know. Your imagination is great if you want to portray. I mean, I'm an actor, so of course I'm going to love it. I'm so egotistical. All I want to do is game master. I'll play, but I don't really care about playing. I want a game master because I get to play more than one character. And I get to, it's easier for me to react to get something going against the player than it is at being a player character talking to a player character. And once you get the player character thing going, I love it, and there are people out there who play D&D who just want to beat stuff up, and I can respect that. I like a good mix of battle and role playing. That's what I like. That's why I like the older stuff. It's not that the current stuff won't let you do that. It's just they've got to the point where they baby new gamers. And in a certain way, I can understand why. Because I always thought the old way of, just kill them. As a GM, kill them. Teach them you got to die and stuff. And make it dangerous and all this. I can understand that. I like to do it, But I don't go into a game to kill characters. But at the same time, they're going the other way. Nobody ever dies. You've got the death saves. And it's like, what? That kind of thing is, to me, the area of the GM. You say whether they die or not. And I reserve the right of keeping characters alive. Excuse me. But that's me. This mentally ill old man is now going to move on. And I will see you guys. I don't think I'm going to be on a live stream this week because all the shows I do with Eric and Don, they're going to be out of town at a con. I can't remember which con. I think WonderCon or something like that. But they're going to be out of town. They may be on, but from the con live stream. But I'm going to be here. So maybe I can toss another one of these out. I don't know. But we will see. But you may not see me again until next Tuesday. Now, this last Tuesday, we had scheduling problems with the other two, and I had to go do something myself. So I decided to do this today just to make it up for you guys. Anyway, it is time for me to go. Please, once again, flash it once again. If you can find this, grab it. This would be great if somebody who just getting into the game and I need stuff to do, it's a good thing to have. It is. I don't expect everybody to get it. It's kind of out of print and it's kind of expensive. Thank you, Matthew. You take it easy too. And so, folks, I will be around, and I hope you guys will have a great week. And I may see you later, but we'll work it out. Goodbye, folks. Have a good one.